live from London is Chris Doyle. He's a Middle East commentator and director at the Council of Arab-British Understanding. Chris, thank you so much for being with us. Firstly, I'd like to ask you about your impressions watching the coverage of Donald Trump's arrival, greeting Mohammed bin Salman. How does it differ to Biden's trip in 2022? Are we seeing quite a warming up, quite visually on our screens, between the States and Saudi Arabia?
It is chalk and cheese. Let's remind ourselves that when Joe Biden went to Saudi Arabia, I think it was to Jeddah, if I recall, he wasn't greeted, by Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince, the effective ruler, as Trump has been. He was actually greeted by the governor of Mecca. And there was that famous image that was really replicated on all the papers around the world of the fist bump between Biden and Mohammed bin Salman, because, of course, it was Biden who very publicly held MBS, as he's known, to be responsible for the killing of the Saudi journalist in Istanbul, Jamal Khashoggi. Now, Trump isn't going to get into human rights and all those delicate issues. He's there as a transactional president, and the Saudis are delighted to have him back in power because they believe they can have a relationship with him. They believe that they can put on this very lavish trip to Saudi Arabia, that there will be huge deals, business deals with Trump, that he'll leave very pleased, and they will at least get him to hear their concerns about the region and what's going on, be it in Gaza, be it about Israeli policy or Iran or the Houthis in the Red Sea.
And both sides are looking to achieve a lot from this trip. Obviously, Donald Trump, economically, things aren't too great at home, looking to sign a number of business deals, but also the Gulf Arab states looking to firm up their positions as indispensable partners with the US, both in security and economically. So what are you expecting to see the key things to come out of this trip?
Well, all these three states, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, want to be in prime position with the White House to be seen as the leading ally and interlocutor within the region. And there is a rivalry there. It's not too bitter at the moment, but there is a rivalry. They want to have the ear of the president, and they will lubricate this process through those sorts of deals. And it reinforces the message that the United States, for those Gulf countries, and not just those three, but also countries like Kuwait, is the primary security guarantor. And Donald Trump will also want me to say, don't leave the United States. The US is with you, and it's not China that you should be looking to get close to. It's the United States. We're your main ally. Because, of course, under Joe Biden, the Saudis and others were also looking at alternative allies, those who could fill the gap when the United States wasn't really on their side. So Saudi Arabia, as well as the United States, has a shopping list. It has interests in the US supporting its nuclear program, all sorts of deals in the high-tech sector that would help it to implement its 2030 plan. So both sides have a lot riding on all of this. They want the optics to look very positive. I think that's very important for both leaders. Trump will want to see this sort of lavish welcome, to be able to transmit back home that this is very much a different administration. The reality may be something different. We talk about huge figures of investment into the United States. Some of those have already essentially been in the pipework, and some may never materialize. But clearly, there are going to be some deals that will be eye-watering and will help the US economy.
Chris Doyle, Middle East commentator and director at the Council of Arab-British Understanding. Thank you so much for your time.